Hello Pisces, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, it's a deck I've been using, the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. The supportive Oracle card, though, is the one that I've been talking about forever, the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Finally found it. My brain said, hey, you know where that probably is? And I was like, okay, let's look there. And it was there. It was in this trunk underneath a couple things. And I was like, hey, that's right, I put that there. So that's what I'm using today, and I'm quite excited about it. So let's see where this goes for y'all, Pisces. And I'm a Pisces too. Sometimes I see comments on other videos, people like asking what sign I am or asking other people what sign I am, and I'm almost like, have they busted my chops? Have I said it a lot, or do they really not know? Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. In which I am a Pisces. Okay. I'm all about the voices tonight. Here we go. Okay, so you got these three cards pulling you in. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands, and the Graveyard? The Graveyard. Okay, so the Graveyard, to me, I know the words on there, and just to be fair, I'm an intuitive reader, so I just go with the energy I'm getting off the card for the situation. I'm getting, it's kind of like feeling kind of confined by a previous mode of thought or a previous belief. There's like outdated rules that I believe in or something like that. Like I believe something that's true that's holding me down. But that's the thing with the Eight of Swords. It's kind of saying there's something you're believing here that's not quite true and probably not fair to you. It feels like you're stuck in a trap, like a mental loop. Feeling like, well, these are the rules of life, and this is what I'm stuck with. This is what I have to deal with. This is what I have to do. Because when I feel this Graveyard, it's kind of like something that's outdated. And like, for example, for me, I'm not really big on cemeteries. I'm not against them, just to be fair, but like, I'm not one to believe that like somebody's soul is waiting at a cemetery. Like, I don't believe that soul is hanging out there at that plot. I just not one to feel that way. So that's kind of one of the reasons I feel like this card is kind of telling me that it's outdated rules, old rules, things that don't feel right, but many people believe in. And I'm getting like it's time to break free, and it's like you have this chance to break free of these old thoughts and old feelings that are holding you back. It seems like it's unfair to you. Like there's something you believe that is just very unfair to you. And I'm getting the environment has this scrying, which I feel like somebody's trying to show you that you don't have to accept these rules. Somebody's trying to show you, and it could be the universe kind of pulling it in the sense of like, you know, all of a sudden you keep getting repeating information. Could be repeating numbers. If it's repeating numbers, it could be like somebody's birthday or something like that. If the number is significant to you, or they're just trying to say, you know, break the pattern. For example, like one of the things I notice is like sometimes the break the pattern symbol for me is like 1243. Because instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going 1, 2, 4, 3. It's like break the pattern. Like that's the message, like break the pattern. You know what I'm saying? So the universe might be sending you messages kind of like, or you might be getting like the same song comes on the radio constantly and you're like, I haven't heard that in years. And then you hear it like on different radio stations within the same hour or within the same week. And you're just like, what's up with this song? Stuff like that. Because I feel like the universe is saying, come on, it's time to break free of this pattern. Don't let this hold you down. Don't let this be your life. You have the chance with the Skull of Flowers and the Lovers coming in to break this, to literally, like, the universe is trying to set you up to break this pattern. They're trying to show you, hey, I know that this used to be a way you thought this had to be. We're telling you it doesn't have to be that way. You are allowed and encouraged to break out of this confinement. The Skull of Flowers, for me, when I read it, a lot of times it feels like looking at where you've been, looking at, like, something that has been established and this is how you feel that has to be, but the flowers are saying you can put your own spin on it. You don't have to be horrified by it. You don't have to be depressed or sad about it. It's almost like when somebody passes, instead of looking at it and going, I will never see them again, instead of going that route, going, I'm so thankful and I remember all the good things and the things they taught me and the things I got out of that relationship, and I'm going to take that forward and I'm going to start sharing that with somebody else. I'm going to take, for example, if I had a relative that taught me how to make this or make that or do this or do that, I'm going to share that with somebody else. I'm going to take that information and further it on and let those people know that I learned it from so-and-so, my grandmother, my grandfather, my uncle, my aunt, whoever it was, my best friend, my maybe my child in some situations. Like my child taught me how to have fun. And I'm taking this forward because they used to love these things. So now I'm still doing that and I'm teaching other people how to do it. Stuff like that. Like taking the past and making it beautiful. Taking what's lost and enjoying it and rejoicing and being thankful for what you have and furthering it on to others. That's the type of energy I'm feeling here. Taking this pattern, breaking it, not letting somebody else say or what you believe. It could be just all in your mind. Like, this is what I believe. This is the parameters of this situation. And breaking out of that. There's a tussle of connections here. Like a tussle? Okay, a tussle. I don't know where we're going with this. Because it feels like when I'm saying tussle, like I'm getting a few different energies interacting with you on this attempt to break out of this confinement. It feels like each one of these are a different way. There is going to be some energy or some pattern that's very positive saying, yes, I see you breaking out of it and I want to break out of it too. You may even have an ally for some of you. I want to do that too. I think you're right. I want to help you and I want to help myself also do that and break out of those confinements. This feels very heavy. I feel like some people are like, no, Pisces. Those are the rules, Pisces. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to be, for example, somebody passed away. You're not allowed to tell me that that's a good thing and that I can further that on. You can't tell me that. I'm not going to have that. This is a horrible time. This is a horrible moment, and I want to feel horrible, and you can't make me feel any otherwise. And I feel offended that you actually are enjoying yourself. How dare you? That could be this, which you got to step away from that. Like, this is not an energy to argue with. This is an energy to be aware of and just let it be on its own and just kind of distance yourself quietly from. It doesn't seem like when I'm feeling that, especially when I'm getting whatever they're feeling that about, like it's like a no-win situation. So all you can do is kind of step away and live your life. There's a third element which is very curious to me. There are people who want to, but don't believe it's okay. Whatever the situation is, you want to break out of this confinement. They want to believe that that's possible, but they're kind of like, ooh. Well, you're challenging a little too much there. I mean, I'd like to believe this is the hard one. This is the difficult one because you got polar opposites to start with is what I'm getting. One that's very accepting, one that's like, oh no, you cannot. Polar opposites. And this is like the middle ground is like they want to go your way on this, but it's kind of this is hard. This one kind of wants to go with you on it, but it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. I feel like this is the same. Like you can share and try to help, but this you got to be careful of this. It's a very slippery slope. Somebody who's kind of like, I'd like to believe that you could do that. Tell me what you're thinking. But even though they're kind of believing in you, they may shoot you down at every turn. I feel like, I'm trying not to say it, but I feel like you might have to treat this one and this one the same. Kind of just like let it be. Maybe share the information, but like in a text or in an email. Not one where you're face-to-face and hashing it out, because I feel like they're going to negate. It's going to seem like they're on your side, and they're trying to be, but I feel like they're going to negate every step of the way, and they're going to try to really kind of like prove to you that even though that's a nice thought, it's a nice thought, Pisces. It feels like that's what they're saying. That's a nice thought, Pisces, but no. And every time you try to prove something differently, they're like, yeah, that's a nice thought. Wouldn't that be nice? But no. Then there's reality. And that's what they keep doing to you. So if you want to try to help them and see different ways, like you want to do it at a distance, like through email or maybe through a video or just something where you can tell them what you're thinking, and then when you feel strong, you can go back and read what they're saying. And if they don't really seem that supportive, just kind of distance yourself, let them be. It's hard because I feel like when you're coming across these, you're like, oh, if they're going to be on my side too, and maybe they want to escape it too, I want to be there for them. I want to help them do that, but it's kind of like, yeah, they want to believe you, but they keep negating you. Be careful of that. That could kind of pull you down. You really need to follow this very supportive energy, and you need to break these confinements. It's time to step out. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some doing to do so, but you got to stick with it and just keep allowing yourself to think of the possibilities. One of the gifts of Pisces is to dream, right? Let yourself dream of it going well. Just let yourself dream of it working out. And especially because I feel like Pisces, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm a Pisces, so we'll see. You'll let me know in the comments. Sometimes we dream about something, and then if we're passionate enough about it, we dream about something in a few different ways. And sometimes we can get hints about how to look at something differently and make it easier for us. It's almost like your intuition is just kind of sneaking in there and saying, while you're fantasizing about this, I'm going to throw this little idea over to you and see if you kind of pick up on that. So be open to your dreams. Let yourself fantasize about it, whatever this is about breaking the confinements. And your intuition might kind of sneak in a couple hints about how you can do that a little easier than maybe you thought. You got the Magician. And the Ace of Swords. Information coming towards you. Breaking out of these confinements. Whoever this is with the Sun, keep that person around. Even if the Sun card is kind of like, it's somebody who's not really like, maybe it's like, I don't know, I'm feeling like there's some type of energy. It's like the universe is sending something towards you. Somehow there's supportive energy, and there's like this support. Like, it's almost like your intuition when you're daydreaming is giving you hints and ideas. And then something in the environment or somebody is kind of like matching up with this intuitive feeling. It's almost like, there's something from my past, and I used to like doing stuff with clay, for example, but I'm told that, I can't make a living from that. I don't know why we're doing that, but there you go. And then all of a sudden your intuition's like, you know what? If you combine clay with this other medium and you make something very different that people aren't used to, maybe if you find a way to make clay things and match it in with metal and make a little, maybe a box or something that somebody's not expecting, maybe if you can do that, you could be right on your way making something happen. And then all of a sudden somebody will come towards you and be like, hey, you know what? I once made this clay box, but I used metal hinges on it, and it worked out pretty well. I'm just not sure what other ideas I could do with that. It's almost like that's kind of the synergy you're pulling in there, or it's almost like the intuitive nudge is saying, this is coming towards you, so we're going to get you thinking about it before it comes your way. I know that's a weird analogy, but hopefully you're able to follow it. Because I'm getting like possibilities and bringing things together with the universe trying to match it up to you. And I feel like that's an obscure reference, but that's supposed to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're dreaming like, oh, I know things about clay, but I never thought I could do anything besides what I was doing. But I was just fantasizing, and I thought, oh, if I put something like little metal hooks in it or something, maybe I could make it into this or that. And then somebody's like, oh, yeah, I put metal hinges on a clay box once. I didn't realize it was going to work, but it worked out really well. You're like, hey, okay, let's talk about this. Let's see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. I really do. I really do. Okay. Breaking free. Somebody else. I feel like you're inspiring. This is like, how does this go? You're inspiring somebody. You're saying, I want to break out of these confines. There's a little bit of separation between whoever you're breaking these confines with. Like somebody else also wants to do this. There's a little bit of separation, and I feel like they return back to you, kind of like, I'm overcoming this. I'm not letting the rules of life dictate to me how this is going to happen. I've stepped outside the box, and this is what I'm doing. Do you want to come join me, Pisces? I feel like somebody's returning. Like you inspire somebody to break out of these confines because you've decided you need to. They step away from, for whatever reason, there's like a distance or a time where you're not really communicating about this subject. Maybe you're communicating about other things, but this one subject, maybe you don't touch on it for a while. And then all of a sudden they come back and like, hey, remember when you said you were breaking out of this confinement role, this confined, dedicated, like it has to be between these boundaries, and you're stepping outside of that, and you're trying to find a way to stop, not only step outside of it, but stay outside of it. Here's what I've been doing, and I think you could do it too. What do you think? That's kind of what I'm feeling with, because I feel like she's a very beautiful, like I feel like a dancer energy with this person. I don't know if that's true of that, but very beautiful, very eloquent, but very strong energy is what I'm getting. Kind of like, it's almost like the strength and beauty, like beauty and strength coming in all at once. It's almost it's almost like a fighting ballet or something. You've got winter and midnight coming in on your side after this. What I'm getting from this is like, it's not going to happen fast, but don't hold yourself back because you feel like you're not moving. With the trick is with the winter card anyway, it does kind of alert to like a pause, especially when it gives this fall leaf on top of winter. You might be like, I feel like the oak tree. Like the oak tree rests during the winter to sprout strong and quickly in the spring. or, just strong in the spring. You might be going through a winter moment when this comes towards you and you're like, yes, I want to do that, but I don't know what to do to get going. Like, I don't know if I can do that right now. That's okay. You're going to have your pause. Midnight is that magical moment, kind of like you're pausing for that moment, and when the moment is right, you will push forward. Don't hold yourself to anything too strongly, or don't kind of like look at yourself like, oh, they're going forward, I want to go with them, I have to do it now. You don't have to do it now. You just got to get it in your mind and accept that you're going to do it. There's going to be like this pause, and then when it's time for you to move forward, when the moment shows itself with the Midnight card, you will move forward. You'll move forward the way you need to. The Emperor is coming in with the Invisibility card, which I love the Invisibility card. Because sometimes for me it's kind of like, it reminds me of, they called it, what did they call it? It was in a movie, it was one of those Harry Potter movies, quite frankly. But it makes me think of like something staying hidden until the moment it's needed. So it's something that's always there and staying hidden till the moment it's needed. And I'm getting your moment will come forward. You just got to accept it, be ready for it, and kind of put yourself in that energy like, I will do it, I'm accepting it, I'm moving forward, I'm just waiting for the moment to move forward, and the moment will show itself. The ally here helps a lot, whoever this ally is. Okay, so it will move forward. I feel like this whole thing is about whatever you're confined by, all you have to do is be open to a change, start working on it, talking about it with this person. Once you get to the part where you're kind of like, I see my way, I want to do it, I just don't know when I can do it, that's all you need, and just think about it. Let yourself enjoy it. Let yourself know that you're going to do it, and just wait for your moment. Boom, you're going to go forward, and you will change. Whatever this is, there's something with the confines of the past. Something holding you down, confines of the past, that you're going to break out of. You just got to, at this point, the point of this reading is to say, allow yourself to accept that you can change rules that other people have set, or you feel like are set in stone, that this stone can be rewritten. And as long as you accept that, when the moment comes, you will do it. If you don't accept that now, the moment will come, you won't believe it, and you'll just kind of walk away from it. So you got to accept it, be ready for that moment to move forward, and then when it comes, move forward. All right. I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.